refreshing, contemporary in the fact that it is deeply personal and confessional, but her narrative is very much in a metaphor. She uses great leaps of imagination and yet is able to, with a sure hand, bring you back to her original point. A very wonderful and compelling poet. I have great pleasure in introducing Lindsey Maguire. Please give her a hand.
Rather than sort of introduce every poem, I have 5 poems I want to read tonight, so I'm just going to kind of go through them. I don't have a book or anything to sort of signal when it ends, so when I'm done I'll just like curtsy or something and move on. The first one I'm going to read is called Mount Sinai.
Called what?
Mount Sinai.
Mount Sinai.
Do you remember Egypt? The frigidity of a nighttime desert as we climbed Mount Sinai, our teeth chattering like old ladies over poker cards. How when the morning came, she came sudden and violent. Sadistically slit the throat of a million robins, collected their severed red necks, stretched them into a crimson dawn song, and I swear I felt the mountains bleed. Understood the need for law in a land as terrifying as this. You kissed me with cold lips as a group of Chinese tourists began singing Amazing Grace in unfamiliar tongue. Their words, made of robin carcass, bent and broken in strange places, tingled my wingless shoulders with the memory of being airborne, or at least born of air. You were weightless that morning. Your face as pacifying as a doctor's coat in a streak of emergency. As the sun beat us with urgent beams, you stood still life and silent over Moses' mountain. You held me heroically, kept my socks clean and splatter-free as we waited in the morning's afterbirth. Your eyes cut horizons, painted them apathetic. Something in your face spoke stone, secure with the knowledge that this dying beauty was some art form alien and other, that we were somehow immune to this fading. But when the morning came, with her bird throat knife, I felt my larynx quiver. Every day we live, we are spared her slicing, but I understood in that dawning that she would one day come for us, dicing our voices into whispers that only succulents can hear and mountains can see when they bleed the death of the nighttime. Life sucks the flight from so many things. So we sing dirges daily to the melody of humdrum, the catchy pop song of routine. But why do we not hold these pristine, clear moments in the brilliance in which they come? These glimpses of ordered chaos and splintered beauty, followed always by some descent, some come down, some wing tear that scars us with legs. Why does this peaking not stain our faces effulgent as Moses after seeing God? Paint our cheeks so blue fire brilliant that we are blinded by one another? How can we stand to look at each other when I know you are out there who have seen God in your own unveilings? Where does this light go? Will it always be stolen by remembrance, or are the women of the desert thieves? Is this land of 10 Commandments a Bedouin Buddha field that infuses these women with such powerful sun faces that men must burqa their cheeks? I've seen their hooded expressions, bulging like tent canopies, bearing the unfair weight of the sky, and I want to tear down these tents. Use the sticks that hold them upright as bludgeons to beat the shit out of the moon until it promises to release us from these cycles, until it bleeds human, seeps its silver into Mount Sinai and fractures open her red earth womb. The day I beat the shit out of the moon, Max, climb with me again. And we will watch the hemorrhaging of the morning give birth to a million flawless robin eggs. These endings will crack us open, remove the unsightly scars of our legs, and send us flying. Doesn't really have a title. It's for my grandmother, so I'll just call it for Grandma. My grandmother was a ballroom dancer, and she loved Ricky Martin. She used to say to me when I was younger, "You just wait, one of these days I'm going to leave your grandfather for some hunky young dance man like that." It's Thanksgiving time again, and I miss her biscuits. I miss wood-paneled walls, her yellow telephone, and my grandfather rocking in his chair like a metronome. I miss how the light in her home was thick like buttermilk, wrapped around my family like silk as they slept in front of the television watching football. My grandma would wake up at 3 a.m. on Thanksgiving just so we could have 5 different kinds of pie that were so freaking good, delicious, actually went up a pant size. My grandma was stinky. I remember the pungent tang of the shit she used to take in the hallway bathroom, and I hate to admit it, but I think I inherited her colon because there are times I take poop so foul that the smell actually conjures her ghost, but that is not what I miss most about my grandma. What I miss most is her dancing, her gaudy dresses of teal, coral, blue. She wore them like confidence. On the dance floor, she became someone my grandfather never knew. He never knew she danced. Even though the empty bedrooms of their children were filled with her trophies, to him she was just someone he noticed was gone when a dinner plate didn't arrive. Why? Why couldn't he love her while she was alive? I can still see him bending regretful at her bedside, tubes keeping her connected to a life she never wanted to grow old to see. I have a theory. That on the day my grandmother died, Ricky Martin appeared to her shaking his bonbon toward eternal, saying, "Come, tango with me, Doris Ann Dunbar. It's time for you to be a star." So now, I search far up in the autumn sky in hopes to find a trace of her, and I don't know, maybe a silver strappy shoe, but I find nothing. Mama, it's Thanksgiving time again, and I miss you. I miss you so much. I hold biscuits to remember what your touch feels like. Lines have started forming around my own eyes, a reminder that I will one day see you again, and when I do, could you do something for me? Will you laugh? I need to hear you laugh. Like that time you did when I was 6 years old and drank buttermilk thinking it was 2%. Laugh for me so hard that the stars actually jar from your merriment. Laugh so sweet that anyone who eats a Thanksgiving pie can taste your chuckle in the filling. Laugh for me so that memory stops killing me with its dreams. Laugh so that the green beans in the garden string themselves like violins you can dance to. Waltz eternal in a time when Papa still loved you with the passion that birthed my mother and eventually brought me here. Finding movement and poetry where you found it in dance. And if there is any chance you hear this right now, I hope it kisses you softly and makes you proud of the steps you left behind. This next one's called Heaven's Floorboard. "Why are you so tense?" he asks. "I don't know," I say. "Maybe it's my period. Perhaps it is because I feel like I am a walking red tent. Maybe it's because I have this vaginal canopy, holding up heaven on the inside, facing earth on the other, and there is a lot of stress placed on a door that swings between worlds. Like the good man he is, he asks, well, is there anything I can do? And I say, no. Until your penis bleeds ribbons. Until tides scrape away your insides during hungry attempts to reunite with the moon, I'm afraid, dear, there's not much you can do, except tell me I'm beautiful. When I know I am being ugly, hug me. Like I am not your other half, but instead your other whole. Like you are night and I am full moon, ready to burst at the seams, nauseous from overeating the millions of possibilities that die every month through this womb. Heavy from bearing the weight of tombs, knowing that with every life I give, I will also deliver its death. That with every breath I breathe, an exhale follows. I am a door that is always swinging. I am the first music that ever graced your ears as you curled roly-poly tadpole inside my belly, all jellyfish and eyeball, hearing nothing but the scuffle of angel feet behind the muscle of my heartbeat. I am heaven's floorboard. Peculiar pipes and fallopian tubing, lubing magic thresholds where souls get folded into flesh and delivered in human packaging. This tension, it's just me singing, knowing that below the skin I have a cleft note for a spine and it hums beginning, shows itself in the clefted line of these lips as they invite us all to open. These hips are bars of music, wincing symphonies through abdominal cramps, childbirth and monthly bleeding, and yes, I am tense. I'm needing nothing more than to remember the beauty of life's cycles, the eternal fresh start that is given with every new heartbeat, and the endings that are punctuated by periods.